Today we're going to talk about something that, well, a lot of us deal with every single day. It can feel like this constant companion, this little voice in our head, and that's worry. But what if I told you that everything you think you know about it is wrong? Let's dive in and take a closer look. So let me ask you something. Does it ever feel like worry is, well, kind of like your part-time job? I mean, think about it. You're lying awake at night just staring at the ceiling and your mind is just building these disaster scenarios, right? Or you're replaying conversations in your head that haven't even happened yet. If any of that sounds familiar, yeah, it can really feel like worry has become this unpaid second job you never even applied for. And this is exactly why it's so tricky. See, worry doesn't just show up looking like some big, scary monster. No way. It shows up wearing a really clever disguise. It actually calls itself responsibility. It whispers in your ear that you're just being careful, that you're being responsible, that you're just trying to protect yourself by thinking through every single possible negative outcome. But what is it really? I mean, what's actually underneath that mask? Okay, so this is the core illusion right here. On one side, you've got what worry feels like. And it feels pretty productive, doesn't it? Like, hey, I'm being responsible, I'm getting prepared. But then there's what worry actually is. And the reality is completely different. You're not actually preparing for anything. You're just rehearsing for a disaster that, let's be honest, probably isn't even going to happen. You're not getting ready. You're just stuck in this mental paralysis, locked inside a story that's built on nothing but fear. So here's a really important point to get. Worry isn't some kind of character flaw. It is not a sign that you're weak. It's actually a faulty survival instinct. Think of it like this. Your brain is trying to feel useful when it gets scared, so it's constantly scanning the horizon for what could go wrong. It's trying to keep you safe, for sure, but its method, well, it's just deeply flawed. And honestly, it's completely exhausting. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Worry gives you the sensation that you're doing something, but in reality, you're just spinning your wheels. It perfectly captures that illusion. It gives you the feeling of action, the feeling of control. You feel like you're thinking, you're planning, you're solving problems. But what's really happening? You're just spinning your wheels in the mud, mentally running laps around a problem you haven't even met yet. And all it does is burn through your energy. And honestly, this right here, this is the biggest cost of all. Because while you're lost in that mental spin cycle, just obsessing over all those endless what-ifs, life is happening right now. It's quietly unfolding right in front of you. And those little moments, they're slipping right through your fingers. Those opportunities are just passing you by. And it's not because they aren't there. It's because your attention is trapped in a future that only exists in your imagination. All right, so let's get really specific. What do we actually lose when we let worry take the driver's seat? Believe me, the cost is a lot higher than you might think. First off, it just drains our mental energy. It leaves you exhausted for things that haven't even happened yet. It also makes you miss out on real opportunities because you're so busy planning for failure. It really strains your relationships because you're just not truly present with the people you care about. And it totally blocks your creativity. It makes you blind to all the good stuff that's right there in front of you. Okay, get ready for this because this number is absolutely staggering. Studies suggest that the vast majority of our worries, we're talking around 91%, are about things that never actually happen. Just let that sink in for a second. That means we're spending almost all of our worry time on pure fiction. I want you to think back to a time you were really worried about something, and it actually happened. How did you handle it? Well, you handled it by showing up, right? In that moment and just dealing with what was in front of you. All those hours of stress beforehand, they didn't help one bit. It was your presence, your ability to just respond in the now, that's what actually got you through. So this brings us to the really important part, the shift. How do we actually move from that paralyzing cycle of what if to a more grounded, a more powerful state of what is? Okay, so the worrier's mind, it's constantly asking this one question, right? Over and over again, in a million different ways. What if everything goes wrong? It's a question that just automatically assumes the worst, and it's designed to do one thing: create fear. It's literally the fuel for the entire worry engine. But what if we just flipped the script? What if we changed the question? Instead of that, what if we asked ourselves this? What if I'll be okay even if it does go wrong? See, that one little question changes everything. It's not about trying to avoid chaos. It's about building the confidence in yourself that you can move right through it. So how do we actually make this shift practical in our lives? Well, it really just comes down to 3 simple steps. First, when you catch yourself worrying, just stop. Just recognize that it's nothing more than a story your mind is writing, and you can choose to close the book. Step 2, breathe. Just take a deep breath and return to your body. Feel your feet on the floor. This is what breaks that mental spiral. And finally, step 3, respond. Focus on responding to what is actually happening right now, not the 1,000 things that might happen later. So, what does life actually look and feel like on the other side of all this? When you start practicing presence, you're going to start noticing some pretty incredible changes. And not just in the big ways, but in all the little moments of your everyday life. For one, you'll notice your conversations just feel lighter. They feel more genuine. And you know why? It's because you're actually listening, not just waiting for your turn to speak or analyzing every little word. You're fully there with the other person. And trust me, they can feel it.
Next up, your decisions, they just feel cleaner, more intuitive. See, when your mind isn't all fogged up by 1,000 different fears and anxieties, you get access to this deeper sense of clarity. You actually start to trust your gut because, for the first time, you can actually hear what it's trying to tell you.
And this is the real game changer. This is the fundamental shift. You stop being in this constant state of reaction, always on the defense against threats that you've just imagined. Instead, you start acting from a place of inner peace, a place of stillness. You start moving through the world with so much more intention and so much less panic. This quote says it all. The world around you won't always slow down, but you will. And in that stillness, you find strength. I mean, how powerful is that? Life is never going to stop being chaotic or unpredictable. That's just a fact. So the goal isn't to control the world out there. The real goal is to find that stillness in here. Because in that quiet, centered place, that's where you find a strength that is absolutely unshakable. And maybe this is the biggest truth of all. When you finally let go of worry, it's going to feel like things just start falling into place. But here's the secret. It's not because your life suddenly became easy or perfect. It's because you stopped carrying the unnecessary weight of imaginary futures. You just stopped making your own life harder than it ever needed to be. So if any of this resonated with you, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's just one small step you can take today to choose presence over worry? Just remember, you're not here to worry your way through life. You're here to live it. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to The Wise Cut. Thanks so much for being here with us today.